Lights, cameras, action. Let's fight. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys wherever you are joining us from this evening. Let's fight, folks. How else can we say it? Good to see each each and every one of you guys. We're so privileged, making sure things are good at my end. We are so privileged to have each and every one of you with us this evening. Privilege to have all of you with us this evening. And just ensuring that my notes are set. Good to have you folks where you're joining us from tonight. Don Raymond and Claire Alexis Richmond and Pollyann Schultz. Notice I skip that other name, Claire, until I get the pronunciation. Pollyann Schultz and all the other folks. I see Raul is here. Raul, people say we got to put you out the arena, you know. Raul, people are saying we got to put you out the arena, but I don't see. I'm trying to settle myself on the damn chair. I don't mind the sunshine, but Raul, behave yourself. Behave yourself, Raul. Good. All right. I don't talk. Paulette, Benji, and all the other folks there. Bernadette, Duncan. Good to see you, Bernadette. Family. Good to see you, Bernadette. And all the other folks there. Onessa Ward, Dean, and Stacy and Stall. I hope you're not install. I hope you're just tall. Samantha Jilks and Desiree Smart, Felix and Salmon Sharu. Kokil. We always get these fancy names from the man. Your parents can name you all something simple like Ted. A whole set of fancy names. Sharon, Karen Black. Good to see you, Karen and Cecilia Abrams. Why Cecilia mother just couldn't name her, Sue? Something simple got me twisted up myself here. Brenda Braffett, watching from, is it Florida? Is it Florida? Precious Mineral. We need some of you precious things they'll bring here, girl. Alia Waldron, good to see you. Quasi Hunt. Good to see Quasi as well. And Elton Saunders, Roxanne Odessa Jacobs, Veronica King. Good to see each and every one of you guys. I am certain when you all sleeping in your beds, you all hearing share the live stream. Share the damn live stream. What else you want me to tell you all? Share the live streams, folks. Onessa is joining us from New Jersey, and Cherylan Hayward also is in the house. I see Simone Kennedy from beautiful Sophia, all the way from Sophia. Renee McKenzie Talbot is here. Imelda Haynes and Andrew Cuthbert. Marilyn Thomas. Folks, we're taking the register today. We're taking the damn register. Y'all come to class early. Good. Diane Fordyce and Diane Britton. Bambi Love. Who is Bambi Love? Interesting. Interesting, as my aunt would say. Interesting. Good to see all of you there tonight, guys. Good to see all of you there tonight. Hope you guys share the live stream wherever you are joining us from. Wherever you guys are picking us from this evening, we ask that you share the live stream. Share the live stream, guys. Good to have each and every one of you here with us. Getting to that magic number. Pack program. 2 MPs dropping by. We're going to flash back to that. REO Region 9, Carl Singh is here. We ain't laughing it, sir. It is not done, folks. And those of you who joined us last night know, for instance, that the mother of Gladys Emmanuel, who was a woman shot in her abdomen by REO Carl Singh, the mother said he admitted to them initially, he said to them initially that she had stabbed herself. This Jagabat Carl Singh, and we're going to deal with that a little later on in our program. Folks, stand by. OG Narayan. Who is OG Narayan? What OG stands for? Gwyneth Jones, Norma Jones, the whole family here, Amanda Kendall, Cheryl-Ann Haywood, Marsha Glasgow, Pamela Douglas, everybody here. Everybody in the ring, folks. And we want you guys to share the live stream. We know it's Friday night, but we ain't easing up. You think we foot coming off the accelerator because it's Friday? No, folks. Folks, we in first gear. Right? That's what I want you to know. We in first gear. Right? That is where we are. First gear. And we only getting better. First gear, people. Check yourself. Check yourself. Welcome in the ring, folks. Check yourself. Guys, you're hearing that? Let me know if you're hearing that. Welcome in the ring, folks. Wherever you're picking us up from. Let's rumble. Let's rumble Ingrid Pearson and June Chase, Patricia Asana, all the other folks. Nadia C4. Nadia says, wise up. That's what we got to do. We got to wise up, people. Wise to the up. And let's get on the go. If you come late, well, then you got problems. If you come late, folks, and we turn our attention to our hot topics this evening. Guys, you know, we always got to get into the hot topics. It's what's hot and topical. It's what's hot and topical. And we're so privileged that we could have all of you here with us, whether you're joining us on Twitter, in the Twitterverse, whether you're joining us on Facebook. I have fast. Not like Rupert. Rupert is in the suburbs. Rupert is joining us from YouTube. But Nadia and Marilyn Thomas and Sandra Hanover, Auntie Sandra, y'all fast. Y'all on the blue app, the fast book. Alicia Joseph, Veronica Primo Rollins, watching us from Georgia, USA. Good to see each and every one of y'all fast. Good to see each and every one of you. Y'all fast. All right, guys, we're in the hot topic this evening, and guys, we cannot help but turn our attention to team installation. It's blackout. You know why it's so dark? It's blackout. Let me get a little bit off of this thing. It's blackout. All right, let me get there. Yeah, it is blackout. That's what's happening. So we turn our attention to team installation. You all know who we're talking about. Once we say team installation, you all know who we are talking about. The install set, the fraudulent set, the install government, team installation. Team installation. Rashley, I hope you're sharing the live stream. And Rollins Stephen. And Wise Up and share the live stream. Linda Thomas, hope you guys sharing the live stream. Jimo Fanfare joining us from the suburbs. Let's fight, Jimo. And Sylvia Allen. Some of y'all coming to class late, you know. Some of y'all coming to class late. I done got my chalk and writing up on the blackboard. Y'all head up, man. Y'all coming late. So, folks, we turn our attention to team installation. And there was an editorial in today's Stabroek News. There was an editorial in today's Stabroek News. And guys, Stabroek News wasn't having it. Stabroek News like they tired of Priya. Stabroek News like they done tired of Priya. They're just like we. Done tired of Priya, folks. And I want to give you a little bit of what Stabroek News said today. Priya, I hope you're watching. Somebody tag Priya, the man. We want Priya to benefit from credible information because apparently Priya don't have credible information. As you know, recently, the Guyana Teachers Union, I repeat myself sometimes because some people's hair is slow. The Guyana Teachers Union had a protest activity, a spontaneous protest activity outside of the Ministry of Education as they were pressing the install administration team installation for their benefits and certain other issues that are outstanding between the union and the government, including pay and duty-free and last year's uniform allowance and a whole host of other things. And immediately after the protest action, Priya was upset. And Priya held a press conference and she talked from what she knew, from what she didn't know. And Stabroek News wasn't having it. Stabroek News assessed what Priya said. Right? Assessed what Priya said. And Stabroek News, these were Stabroek News words. In one instance, Stabroek News said, Priya Manikchan, the Minister of Education, the installed Minister of Education, has never been one to open herself up to the accusation of tact and diplomacy. Meaning she ain't got no tact and she ain't got no diplomacy. They go on to say that her accusations that the union was mouthing the policies of the opposition, they said this was puzzling. Y'all gonna read Stabroek News after the program. It was puzzling. In another instance, they said the thought process of Priya was perverse. You know, after an editorial like this, in any, democracy that deals with accountability, the education minister would resign, but not Priya. Priya probably at the salon, fixing her hair, looking at another outfit. So they described her as her thought process on the matter as puzzling. And on some other issues concerning the union, they thought that, Priya was perverse in her thinking, in trying to deem the union's stance and position as political. The editorial read, and I quote, "The minister seems to have forgotten that perhaps the most political union in this country has always been GAU, the Guyana Agricultural and Workers Union. And no doubt she would have been in the front lines of the chorus had the PNC in any of its forms refused to meet on issues of wages, for example, because of its association." So Stabroek News says GAU, who is associated very closely with the PPP, as a matter of fact, the head of GAU, the Guyana Agricultural Workers Union, is a member of parliament for the PPP. The head of GAU, he's a member of parliament for the PPP. So again, Stabroek News said her thoughts were puzzling and perverse. It went on to say, the union was focused on issues concerning, as I said, unpaid clothing allowance for 2019. I know Priya told them, no preposition Priya told them, carry to Congress Place. Carry your demands for unpaid clothing allowance to Congress Place. And the Stabroek News editorial, and Stabroek News by extension, sided with the union's position that Priya was disrespectful. She was disrespectful to the union. That is what Stabroek News said today in their editorial. And guys, I want you to read that editorial there when you have some time. Also making the papers yesterday, and because we were out of program time yesterday, there was an interesting letter to the editor. They have been in this because we care cash grant sharing out. Well, the business community is upset. And there was a letter to the editor by a gentleman I presume to be a businessman, one Zakir Ali. A very, very short letter. And this is what Zakir said, folks. This is what Zakir said, Zakir Ali. Zakir's contention was that the business community, especially small businesses, depend on these cash vouchers, especially the 4,000 vouchers, the $4,000 Guyana dollars valued voucher for sales at this time of year when children are going back to school. And Zakir Ali, says as a businessman, they thought, and I guess they had an understanding with the PPP, that they were going to issue this voucher. And he said that he and his colleagues in the private sector, as small businesses, were very surprised when the government gave cash instead. Why is he surprised that the government gave all the money in cash? He said because they know parents aren't going to come and buy school supplies. So that is what Zakir said. Let me read one paragraph in his letter. He said, "I am a supplier and dealer in school uniforms and clothing accessories. Myself and many other business are disappointed in this decision to give all as cash and not in voucher. Businesses used to collect hundreds and thousands of vouchers at the end of the school holiday. Those vouchers went directly to the kids. The government was accepting applications by businesses for the cashing of vouchers, but did the opposite of what they said. Some parents finished that cash on their personal use, and none will go towards the kids' foodstuff." He says many small businesses that deal directly with these items are going out of business, especially with the Chinese competitors. Many small businesses that deal directly with these items are going out of business, especially, he says, given the added competition of their Chinese counterpart in the business community. Folks, it's purgatory in the country. So not only are we as citizens feeling the squeeze of this installed government, but the business community clearly. Zakir Ali, he says he and his colleagues are suffering because they did not comply with what they said they were going to do in giving vouchers instead of giving cash. So, folks, that is something we are following. And as we're looking at that, we understand that the cost of living is going up. And that is why Zakir Ali is complaining about what is happening in the business sector, as you and I are complaining about what is happening in the social sector. And we have a right to complain. The government has a duty, installed or not. Folks, as you come on this evening, we invite you guys to share the live stream, wherever you're picking us up from. Whether you're picking us up from home here in Guyana, or you're picking us up from the diaspora. Welcome in the ring, folks. Welcome in the ring. And whether the diaspora for you is the Caribbean, it's North America, South America, or any place else on the globe. Internationally, guys, we welcome each and every one of you into the ring this evening. Cost of living going up. Every day, folks, we say, and you know this to be true, it's purgatory. Purgatory. Was more purgatory today. Folks, we are so happy. I am so happy that we have folks who are representing us at the Olympics. I'm very, very happy about that we have athletes who have been training tremendously hard and who are representing us at the Olympics. These are the best of the best that we have produced. The best of the best, folks. But today, attention came off of the athletes. And the attention went to what they wore. Do you think they were dressed for success? I hope you guys sharing the live stream, Nadia and all the other folks. I hope you guys sharing this live stream. And I want to gather for you some of the comments we saw on social media pertaining to the dress code of the Olympics team. Right? So, folks, as we begin, I want you guys to know some of the folks who are participating. Do I have that information here? I may have to circle back to that. But as this controversy went on throughout the day about whether this uniform represents the PPP colors, the minister responsible for youth, sports, and culture, the installed Charles Ramson, he made it clear that the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture will never seek to direct the uniforms, state buildings, and state paraphernalia be dominated by party colors. He mightn't instruct or direct, but you might ask. So that is what this Jagabat Ramson said. Here's what Melly Mel said. Melly Mel said this. Social media commentator and YANA president, that organization looks into women's affairs and women's empowerment. She says, for a minute, I thought I was looking at the Trinidad team or members of the PPP representatives. She says, clearly, Guyana moving forward. Together, no time soon. When it's not Granger painting the country green, it's the PPP dressing the country representatives for the Olympics in their party colors. She said both parties are very wrong. This is according to Melly Mel. She goes on to say she's wishing all of our athletes all the best throughout the Olympics. And that was from Melly Mel. There was one Michaela Annalisa Prince who weighed into the Olympics clothing gate. and Michaela said this. She says, how some Guyanese can look at something good and still manage to identify a flaw is beyond me. Annalisa, Michaela, critics make the world a better place. She says, rather than being unnecessarily bitter about something like a uniform, I ask that we at least show some semblance of support and love for our Guyanese brothers and sisters at this year's Olympics. And that is what Michaela Annalisa Prince said on social media. Then there was uh, Trivana Reese. And these were her comments on the uniform gate. She said, to the coordinator and the designer of these uniforms worn by the team of Guyanese at the Olympics and the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, my question is, what are the colors of our flag? Why is it that the uniforms are missing the most dominant color, green? Is it very clear that representation counts? And this is just unacceptable. The colors remind of a political affiliation rather than just our country. But that's another issue. She says, do better, Guyana. That was Trivana Reese. Guys, I'm eager to know your own thoughts on the matter. Now, this is one that I tend to agree with. And this was a sports journalist extraordinaire, if I might say so, the one and only Roll Tony. And Roll said he's really disheartened by the amount of attention being shown to our athletes' attire at the opening of the 32nd Olympiad in Japan. Folks bringing politics into the choice of color and design. The government of Guyana is not responsible for outfitting our Olympians. That responsibility is with the Guyana Olympics Association. It has always been that way, past and present. He says it is hard just to see these athletes well and focused on them and not. He said, rather, it is hard to just wish, is it hard to just wish these athletes well and focus on them and not what they are wearing? That's a fair question. There's absolutely nothing wrong with having an opinion, but be factual, Roy Tony says, and at least let those athletes know and feel they have your support. I would love for some of you to have the same energy when they are crying out for assistance. I would love for some of you to have the same energy to share their success and offer to help when they come calling. Do I like the outfit? Roy Tony asks. Do I like the outfit? Nah, not really. But generally, we have always lacked any sense of creativity. The PPP, yes, it's true. We have always lacked any sense of creativity when it comes to our opening ceremony outfit at the Olympics. But to insult those athletes and not a single mention of their brilliance to get to the game is a shame. And that is sports journalist Roll Tony. And guys, as we have that, we want to share part of what we saw as the Olympics open. Part of what we saw as the Olympics open there in Japan, in Tokyo, Japan, just this morning. Part of what we saw as the games opened there. Folks,
country of 746,000 people in the northeast coast of South America, proud to bring 7 Olympians to Tokyo. They competed in 16 summer games. There's a 30 holiday country in South America. They have 2 athletes, 2 swimmers, 1 table tennis, 1 boxing, 4 of 10 nations with a single medal, a bronze, Michael Anthony at the 1980 Summer Olympics. This country of 746,000 people in the northeast coast of South America proudly brings 7 Olympians to Tokyo. They competed in 16 summer games. There's a 30 smallest country in South America. They have 8 athletes, 2 swimmers, 1 table tennis, 1 boxing, 4 of 10 nations with a single medal, a bronze, Michael Anthony at the 1980 Summer Olympics.
folks, that was our team. There you have it. That was our team at the opening of the the 130 and 32nd Olympics there. And guys, I don't know about you, but across the political divide, I knew when that team stepped out there on the field, I ain't even seeing that color. I seeing that golden arrowhead. I am seeing the brilliance of these young people, and my God, I feel like 15 feet taller. And so we salute all of our young people who are there, carrying the standard of our country in Tokyo, Japan. We're very proud of each and every one of you. We're proud of your coaches. We're proud of the associations that you represent. And we're also proud of your family, who must have sacrificed a lot for you guys to get to where you are currently. And so we are very, very thankful for all of your hard efforts. Very, very thankful, guys. And I trust as more of you join the live, you would share the live stream. Guys, we got to pay the price of admissions, and that is to share the live stream. Not to be left out. Some people didn't want to be left out, apparently, of the discussion on color. Some people didn't want to be left out. And so just today, folks, we saw the Bartica police step in. The Bartica police was celebrating, part of the celebration of the police force's 103rd, the 182nd anniversary. The police force's 182nd anniversary. And it was let me get my notes right, on the Olympics. I want to get my date. The 32nd Olympiad in Japan. And this is the 182nd anniversary of the Ghana Police Force. Right? The 182nd anniversary of the Ghana Police Force. And so the police force there in Bartica, had a church service. And this was the colors chosen for the church service, ladies and gentlemen. Police force colors. Are those the police force colors? I'm going to leave that up for your debate. Is that the police force colors? I'm going to leave that up for you to debate in the comments section. Right? And of course, you know, when you see certain things happen, you know the PPP come back. When we see certain things transpiring, we know it on the shadow of a doubt. The PPP come back. And so we told you from the inception, part of our flashback this evening, we are going to be looking at this Ario Carl Singh issue, where they're telling us that it was accidental, this shooting. First, he told the parents she stabbed herself. Now he's telling us, the police telling us it was an accidental shooting. Excuse me. It was an accidental shooting. And now we hear that the case file is with the DPP. And we have her mother live on the program. Gladys Emmanuel is the name of the victim. And we have her mother live on the program just last evening, who told us that Carl Singh told her initially that their daughter had stabbed herself. And again, we have to ask the question, when is Carl Singh going to be charged? Terachan Jaigobin, high official there at the Ministry of Finance, knocked down and killed one of our road users just recently. When is he going to be charged? Zamal Hussein, the vice chairman of Region 6, similarly hit down a pedestrian, which resulted in the fatality of that pedestrian. His file still with DPP, waiting for legal advice. When is he going to be charged? Right? Biting Dalrymple. Bit the policeman in full view of the public. All of us saw the video. When is Dalrymple going to be charged? Coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. This is a team we are seeing consistently, as we look at the activities of team installation, consistently, we are seeing this team coming soon. Coming soon. They have an event, and then they say, oh, it's coming soon. You remember the big hullabaloo about this SOAR or goal, the scholarships? Well, they said the award of the scholarships coming soon. It's supposed to be this moment. We hearing nothing, they gone quiet. Coming soon. Folks, if you know something that's coming soon, put it in the comments. Like Onika Fraser says, I fed up. Coming soon. That is the theme of this government. Coming soon. Y'all remember they promised an audit of the COVID cash grant about 2 or 3 months ago? Folks, it's coming soon. The findings coming soon. The installed Irfan Ali promised that audit to this nation. Tonight, coming soon, the findings. Raise a pay for public servants, coming soon. All they got is promises. Since March, monies were approved by the National Assembly for a raise of pay of public servants. It's still coming soon. The commencement of the Linden Mabura Road. The commencement of the construction, coming soon. Less blackouts from GCOM. In Darcy, coming soon. Better prisons. They ridicule Lusignan. They said we could build better prisons. Coming soon. A profitable and modernized sugar industry. Oh, Granger was wrong for shut down the sugar industry. And all these loss of jobs. And we're going to open back and we're going to make it profitable. Coming soon. Gas to shore studies. They like studies. They like reading. They like researching. The gas to shore studies. Coming soon. Everything coming soon. Folks, you better share this live stream. Renegotiation of the ExxonMobil oil contracts. Coming soon. Coming soon. That's all you're hearing. Charges for Dalrymple, who bite the policeman. The charges coming soon. Completion of the Mandela Avenue. Coming soon. This is the government of coming soon. Activation of the Public Procurement Commission. Coming soon. Coming soon. A wife for Kwame McCoy. Coming soon. A wife for Jack Dio. Coming soon. That's all here. Coming soon, coming soon. 50,000 cash grant for students. Well, they give 19. The rest coming soon. An economy characterized by economic dynamism. Coming soon. $40,000 old age pension. Coming soon. Oil money to benefit all Guyanese. Coming soon. Folks, please share the live stream. Or y'all share coming soon. A crime plan by Robeson Ben for less crime and safer communities. Coming soon. A fair and impartial Speaker of the National Assembly. Coming soon. Schumann's defense of the indigenous community. Coming soon. Safeguarding the rights of Amerindians. Coming soon. 50,000 jobs. You got it right, folks. Coming soon. A national job bank and labor exchange. Coming soon. Ease of doing business under the PPP government. Coming soon. Post-cabinet briefings, ladies and gentlemen. Coming soon. Love for the Haitian migrants. Coming soon. Internet for all. Coming soon. Justice for all. Coming soon. Constitutional reform. Coming soon. 10 billion approved by the National Assembly a month ago for the farmers affected by the flood. Coming soon. It's a government characterized by coming soon. Ladies and gentlemen, I am privileged this evening to have two very dear friends and colleagues and MPs. Please permit me to introduce MP Juretha Fernandes. and MP Don Hastings Williams. MP Fernandes, a very good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, Sharon.
I know you are here and you're not coming soon.
Thankfully. Thankfully.
Well, we're flashing back to this whole issue concerning the Region 9 REO, the Regional Executive Officer, REO Carl Singh, who shot Gladys Emmanuel in her abdomen. And now the police are saying it's an accident. Her parents got a total different point of view based on all that they know. And the public at large got a different point of view. Right? The public at large have a different point of view. I wonder if our colleagues Don Hastings William will be joining us by video. I would love for her to join us by video. MP, yeah, I think we have her. Let me include her now. A very good evening, MP Don Hastings Williams.
Very good evening to you, Sherrod, and my colleague MP, and your viewers and listeners.
Awesome. So let me start with MP Fernandes, who said during a press conference this afternoon on this very issue, you said that you call on the Ghana police force to do what is right and investigate and give us a true report. I am calling for justice on behalf of Gladys Emmanuel and her family. I am totally frustrated and my indigenous, sorry, this is Don Hastings Williams. Sorry, and I am totally frustrated and my indigenous brothers and sisters must be wondering what is happening in this beautiful country of ours. Former Minister of State Don Hastings Williams and MP, expand on this for us.
Thank you again, Sherrod. Well, I joined my colleague this afternoon in strongly condemning the shooting of our sister Gladys Benjamin by a public officer who is none other than the Regional Executive Officer of Region 9. I must say, allegedly, according to the first report given by the police, it was an attempt murder of one Gladys Emmanuel. And hence this afternoon, we came together as women parliamentarians to condemn this act that was meted out to our dear sister. And you know, Sherrod, you talk about a lot of things that were coming soon or that is yet to come. But violence against women is here. It is here, but the solutions to curb and to find and to help our sisters, to defend our sisters, is on its way. I don't know when it's going to come. Ever it's going to come in soon, but we have heard so many things that are on the way and has not arrived as yet. And I have no doubt that this solution, if there is any at all, coming soon.
Okay. MP Juretha Fernandes, for your part, you said during the press conference, Lennox Schumann, the deputy speaker, has abandoned his claim to representing the indigenous people. You went on to say that his statement in response to calls to him to condemn the shooting of Gladys Emmanuel is a betrayal of indigenous women. And you went on to say, I call on the indigenous people to disassociate themselves from Lennox Schumann and the LJP party. Expand on that for us. Give us some more context.
Sharon, let me tell you, I'm actually pulling this thing up as I speak because I want to just be very direct in my quotes. Give me 1 second. Okay.
Go right ahead.
My issue was that I saw a statement coming out from Lennox Schumann yesterday, actually. Lennox Schumann, after the shooting of Miss Gladys, Lennox Schumann said absolutely nothing. This is someone that claims to be the voice of indigenous people in this country. That is a platform that he campaigned on. And it was beyond hypocrisy that he said what he said. And I'm going to quote it here because Lennox Schumann said, "It is an outright racist idea to suggest that just because I, Lennox Schumann, am an indigenous MP, that everything that happens to an indigenous person is my exclusive and sole domain." This is a quote directly from the statement. This is his opening of the statement that he put out. And you know why that is hypocrisy, Sherrod? And I give a bit of this at the press conference today because, and I want to remind the viewers tonight, Lennox Schumann had no issue with being associated only with the indigenous community in this country. He was so blatant in his approach of representation that he only contested regions in which indigenous people predominantly reside. He did not touch regions like Region 3, Region 5, Region 6, Region 10. He didn't even contest those regions. This is somebody that contested as a presidential candidate for this country.
Mm-hmm.
He did not contest those
Mm-hmm.
regions because in his assessment, and as the polls would show you, those regions are not predominantly occupied by indigenous people. He blatantly used the platform of indigenous representation when he campaigned for the 2020 election. So how dare Lennox Schumann come out yesterday to say that, well, basically to say he feels insulted. That is how you were to interpret that statement, as though it is an insult to him that you're going to suggest that because he's an indigenous person, then he should be speaking out. This is someone that went into the regions and into the communities that
Yeah.
where indigenous people
Yeah.
are, and he spoke to them and he said, "I will be
He
your
didn't go to
voice."
Region 6. He didn't come to
No,
Region 4. He didn't go to Region 3. He's a hypocrite.
he was in
According to
region.
Priya, he's a
He was
hypocrite.
in region. He was in region 4, but because he's from St. Colbert's Mission altogether, and that is in region 4. He did
Yes.
not touch regions that he did not know, that he knew that he could not even attempt to go into, because his platform, his whole campaign was based on race. That
Yeah.
is
I
what
should
he
have
did.
characterized it by saying he wasn't in parts of Region 4 where the indigenous community do not feature. He's a
Correct.
hypocrite.
Correct. He did not touch region 10. He didn't even try to contest that region. That's out of his domain. So it was beyond me that part of his statement to say he's concerned about all, capital ALL, all. No, you're not concerned about all. You did not even have the audacity to contest certain areas in this country. Some of the
Yeah.
most populated areas. You didn't go there because that wasn't your platform. When you are called upon now, and the thing is, shared, it is very it's a blatant disrespect to the indigenous community, basically. That he was there, he solicited their votes, he made promises to be their voice,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
when he was empowered by these people, let me tell you, I can read it out here. Lennox Schumann got 2,657 votes altogether. From Region 9, where the incident took place, he
Mm-hmm.
had 277 votes from that region. This is a Lennox Schumann who loves to parade himself as the
And you
best of
can go
everything.
into the weeds of those numbers to specific polling places in indigenous communities. So
Sure,
Lennox Schumann is a hypocrite,
he
a
is
hypocrite.
the biggest hypocrite ever. And it's like he just doesn't care. And I said something in the press conference today. I said that the REO that is in question, that is involved in the shooting incident, the REO is an employee of the PPP, and so is Lennox.
Yes, yes. Because Lennox Schumann sits at the Civil Aviation Authority as an advisor, earning over $700,000 per month plus perks. And to say that you're interested in all Guyanese, John Lennox wasn't interested in all Guyanese when Tabitha Halley was being assaulted by his colleague Kwame McCoy at Parliament. He said nothing.
Exactly.
And we see this
Exactly.
trend with PPP and PPP officials abusing women, and they're not held accountable by their own peers. And it's shocking, John. It is shocking.
Lennox did not even attempt, and that is my thing. no one tried to direct a statement from Leonard Schumann, but persons expected him to speak out on the matter based on the platform that he campaigned on. You cannot go to people and promise to be their voice, and when you are called upon by those very people that you went to be the voice that you promised them to be, you're going to step back and say, "What?
Yeah.
It it is insulting." I think you need no more clearer writing than that
Yeah.
on the wall, and persons need to completely disassociate themselves from Lennox Schumann altogether. If you go to the indigenous communities right now, Sharon, you would hear persons speaking openly that they believe that they were fooled by Mr. Schumann into believing that he would represent them. And when he was given the little bit of power that he was given, he
Yeah.
completely abandoned ship altogether.
Yeah.
And they are yet to hear from him since then,
Coming
right?
soon.
And this is
Lennox
somebody
coming
that does
soon.
not. This is somebody that did not even win a full seat in the National Assembly. This is somebody that's on a joint list. He should be doing everything in his power right about now to maintain some sort of relevance, but instead of that, he is so far away from the campaign promises that he made. He is completely out of his zone, I would say, altogether. And I believe that what I can
Yep.
say,
Yep.
Sharon, is that he has allowed himself to be muzzled by the PPP. That's what you become when you are an employee of the PPP. You cannot criticize and scrutinize your employers. How are you going
Yep.
to do that? And that is the situation that he has found himself in. So now, even when a young lady, an indigenous young woman, has been shot, she is in hospital, regardless of what his opinion is on the matter, the least he could have done is
Yeah.
step out there and give
Yeah.
representation for
Yeah.
that young woman. But he
Yeah.
cannot do that because he is completely muzzled by
Yeah.
his employers.
John, I know you're on the ground there a lot in the hinterland regions, in indigenous communities. And, a conversation I had with a gentleman just this morning, he was talking about Region 1, for instance, and how in some instances, there's almost a cap on the expectations in those indigenous communities and what they can do and the exposures that they have to good jobs and living facilities and all of that. And in talking to the mother of Gladys Emmanuel last evening, she talked about how she wants justice on this issue. She said she doesn't want people to feel, for instance, that because they have money, right? Because they have money, they don't have to be accountable. And she wants justice for her daughter. And in this particular instance, Don, I can see a parent fighting for their child. This is a child who's 25 years old, still living with their parents, working hard, contributing to her family, and wants simply justice. And said to us that basically their daughter was made to sign a statement when she still had a bullet in her. Oh God, can we be any more animal like? I mean, who are these animals? This fellow named Carl Singh and the whole pack of them that support him there in Region 9. Are they animals? A woman has a bullet lodged in her, a warhead lodged in her, and they're gone with statement. Why is it so important that the woman who's just been shot must give a statement, and her family cannot go to see her in the hospital? Try to make sense of that for us.
I can't make sense of something like that.
Don't
Because
jump in anytime there. Jump in anytime. You might be able to offer more clarity on people like how you deal with Carl Singh, folks like him.
Okay, Sharad, I must add to what my colleague's sister was saying. I also quoted from Stabroek News, 20th of January 2020, where Mr. Schumann strongly made and when he was launching his campaign, where he said, I warned against the government, which was the APNUAFC then, and the PPPC, who has been dominating for decades. And he warned them against muzzling the indigenous voices.
Oh,
So
wow.
when
same
I
Schumann.
read his speech, yes, the same Schumann, and you can go and look at Stabroek News that was published on the 20th of January of the year 2020.
Oh wow.
And
Oh
so
wow.
I want to know how quickly 1 year of their anniversary is about to come. I can I can picture what are in the minds of my
Oh
indigenous
wow.
brothers and sisters. And
Wow.
so as I called on the Guyana Police Force to give a true report, which will result in justice being served to our sister. And you know, I come with a heavy heart. When I heard this news for the very first time, I usually don't be, speaking out too much and appearing on television like my other colleagues. But in my quiet time, I observe very keenly and very carefully. I take note of every report concerning my indigenous brothers and sisters. And I started by saying this afternoon, this doesn't say that I do not have concern for all Guyanese. I do have concern for all of our Guyanese women. We're all each other's keeper. We're all sisters. And so, again, Sherrod, when it is time for us to stand up, we have to lay aside our political differences,
Yeah.
lay aside our religious backgrounds, put
Yeah.
aside everything else, and come together as Guyanese. Stand up as Guyanese, stand up as women.
Yeah.
We have to lend our voices, we have to blend our voices to get us to stand against such wicked attempt or such wicked, what must I say, crude incident that was meted out against one Gladys Ems. And I must say to you, I heard you speaking about the mother or the father, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
stating that they were there to offer them money. Let me tell you, Sharon, no amount of money
The
is
wicked man. The wicked.
equivalent, no amount of money is equivalent to the life of my indigenous brothers and
Yeah.
sisters. No amount of money can you use to value those lives and none other Guyanese lives. And so when you come to my indigenous brothers and sisters offering them money, what does that speak? Total disrespect
Yeah.
for my
Yeah.
brothers and sisters. Total
Yeah.
disrespect. There is no other word that I can use. And so I am calling on the regional executive officer to do the thing that is decent as
Yeah.
investigation continues and as we
And
await the result of the investigations.
yeah, because they're saying now
I
that
am
the report is with the DPP, and John, it is jarring. The whole investigation seemed to be linked only to what perhaps the victim said. In this state of having a bullet in her, for God's sakes, nobody seemed to have spoken with the parent because the parent had interactions with the perpetrator just after the incident, who told her that she was stabbed. She stabbed herself, right? And then if she stabbed herself and it's that nature, why then do you go and offer them money? Huh? Why do you go and offer them money to hush up the story and you willing to pay anything and all of that? That is how poor people got it in this country. You could stab me and then bring $100,000.
But Sharad, like I said, no amount of money is equivalent to the value of human life. No amount of money. And even if you try to hide it under the cover, hide it under the carpet, there is a God, Sharad. There is a God. In whatever form you call him, Allah or whatever is it, there is a God, a supreme being who is looking over every activity that is being meted under the face of this earth. So I want to join and to support the family of Gladys by saying, I imagine that young woman lying in that bed. There are so many questions, so many unanswered questions. Why is it that that young woman wasn't flown to Georgetown on a medevac in
Mhm.
order for her to get a property? Why was she be operated. I know it was an emergency case, yes, but she
Yeah,
could have been flown out.
yeah. And why was her family initially prevented from seeing her? They seem to have cordoned her off, elicit a statement from her, and then all is well and nice now. But as you said, MP Hastings, there's a God, right? And as I always say, the wrong set of people dead in from COVID in this damn country. It's the wrong set of people. MP Fernandes.
I I was just listening to the statement, just recapping. The fact is, Sharon, when I heard a mother speak on your program last evening, and she spoke about the someone coming speaking to her, claiming that they're a representative of the REO, and that if she wants $100,000, they can go and he can go and get
Police
it
and
now.
talk to them.
All right. At that point, it is clear about the level of disrespect that the REO, the representative of the REO, has for the family altogether.
Yeah.
You do not go to a mother and offer her $100,000. It shows that you have no value for these people.
John was
And
right. They're disrespectful, man. They're disrespectful.
no, it's very serious, because this is if he is a representative of the REO, which he claimed to be, if he is a representative of the REO, that is the person that the government has appointed to the region to be the steward of the resources that goes to
Yes.
the RDC.
Yeah.
All right. And if that person have no value for the people in the area that he is stationed, then you can imagine the actual work that he does in that area. You do not go and offer, you do not send a representative to offer money to the family, and it is insulting that you would think $100,000 is enough to muzzle a mother.
Yeah.
Now, Sharda, listen to me. I have had the opportunity to be in a lot of the regions, in a lot of the indigenous communities, to do work there. And one thing I can say this right now tonight on this program, I think it is fitting. One of the opportunities I had was to go up into some indigenous communities and to do research as it pertains to gender-based violence.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the opportunity to do one-on-one interviews and to hold some focus groups with women and young girls within the areas. And listen to me, you know what was the most astonishing thing? I spoke to women, and the focus groups that I had with women, I would say, like, between the ages of 40 to 55, I believe. Those women actually came and say, well, when you pinpoint things and say, well, this is abuse and this is abuse, they were like, well, for so many years we've been dealing with all of this, but nobody ever came to say, well, these things are abuse, so we think it was just acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah.
When as representatives of people, especially the representatives of indigenous people, which are of the minority group in this country, when you want to represent these persons, you have to be very much inclined to go and sit and listen to their issues, sit and listen to the way in which they live, their customs, their belief, things that they consider ideal. What are the norms in this society in order for us to best be able as leaders to represent
Yeah.
them?
Yeah.
What I have seen with this situation is that we have persons that are government representatives going into the regions, and instead of trying to empower the persons in
Yeah.
these areas with knowledge as to what is right from wrong, they are yet to do that. Instead, what they are doing is actually abusing the fact
Yeah.
that persons are not so informed in a lot of these areas as to their rights as human beings. They are abusing the basic function of their offices, and it is something that we cannot accept. at all. Don't you dare go to people and say $100,000 is readily available if you wanted to shut up a situation in which
Yeah.
you can be jailed for. $100,000 does not compensate. It doesn't equate.
Yeah. And
It is a very insulting situation altogether.
MP Finance and John Hastings Williams. I wanted to preface my ultimate question by saying that it seems as though official in this administration, a minister or otherwise, can ill-treat their spouse and companion, and to the point of shooting them, and nothing would be done. You wouldn't hear anybody in the cabal complain. But then I remember that has already occurred, where you had a head of state from the PPP treat his wife in the worst way, and none of them said nothing. Why hasn't Priya said anything on this issue? Why hasn't Care Bear, Vindhya Prasad, Social Protection said anything on this issue, right or wrong? Why hasn't Sonia Parag said anything on this issue, or Susan Rodriguez, as women in this administration? Why haven't they said anything on this issue? Why have Jennifer Westford not said anything on this issue, or Pauline Sukai said anything on this issue? And repeatedly, we see women abused in our society at the highest level, and all of the PPP women are always quiet. One wonders whether they themselves are subject to abuse. One wonders. Don or Juretha, as we watch the program time.
All right, Sharad, I heard
They
you,
never say
and
anything. They never
it
say
seems to
anything.
be a norm. It seems to be a new norm, and I am beginning to believe perhaps my women parliamentarians on the other side have been muzzled, because I haven't heard anything coming from the Minister of Amerindian Affairs or Indigenous Peoples Affairs to date. If I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen any statement. I haven't heard any condemnation of the act that was done. And you've also mentioned about cases in where prominent persons who held high offices, were known to be abusing their
Yeah.
partners.
Yeah,
And
Jaglio.
Sharad, this
Let me
is
say
like
Jaglio. When I read Varshni's statement a few years ago that she presented to the public on Jaglio, it made my skin crawl as a man. It made my skin crawl. It's here I'm talking about. Sorry to interrupt you, MP Hastings.
that's fine, Sharad. And my call this afternoon to our male Guyanese was to be a man and be a real man. Women in Guyana, Guyanese women, we love real men. We don't want anything else, nothing less but a real man. And so, Sharad, I do understand that these things happened before, and I'm saying that it seems to be a norm to some set of persons in our country. But I must say to you that our women, those who are being disrespected, those who are being battered in whatever form, they have negative impact on our women, whether it's psychological, if it's physical, verbal, financial, whatever form of abuse or violence, Sharad.
Yeah.
This should be condemned. I'm saying that young woman, Miss Gladys, now her shooting was accidental, is unacceptable, Sharad.
Yes.
Unacceptable.
Yes.
Nonsense.
The firearm
Madness.
holder was
Craziness.
reckless. Even if it was
I don't know.
accidental, it was reckless.
Exactly so. It was reckless. And how could you be? And how can you say? I was even saying, how can you say that gun went off accidentally?
Yeah.
Can a gun fire a bullet by itself? Can a firearm
Exactly.
and send a bullet, and then words that are being used, struck. Mere fact that a bullet struck a
Yeah,
woman in her abdomen.
yeah.
You
Why
know,
wasn't it
the
holstered?
girl was
Why wasn't
shot.
it put away for safety? Yeah,
She was shot in her abdomen, and there is no
yeah,
better word. There is no better verb to describe that. She was shot.
yeah. And her
An
mother said she had
allegedly
marks on her
attempted
skin
murder. She
that
could have
looked.
lost her life.
MP Hastings, her mother said last evening, right here, she had marks on her skin that looked to her as marks of violence. That's what the mother said. That's what the mother said on this very program last evening. So we have to consider that too. MP Finance, as we go.
Uh, I did listen to that aspect of it, and I think the mother also said it when she spoke with the Ario at the hospital. He was showing her that he had some marks on his body as
Yes,
well, right?
yes,
So, by all indication, in the court of public opinion, there appear to have been some kind of altercation between the two persons before that bullet was fired. Now, before the gun was fired. Sherrod, listen to me. Throughout throughout the years, we have had many persons stepping forward and saying that they are representatives of the indigenous community. And what I can tell you is that as an indigenous person myself, as an indigenous woman myself, I have my colleague on the program right now, Miss Hastings. What I can tell you, one of the things that indigenous people require the most in this country, if it's not the the most important thing, is equal respect. Indigenous people want equal respect. A lot of times persons speak about rights and being heard and all of that. One of the main concern of the indigenous community is that equal respect is something that we do not see as much as we want to see it. The Lennox Schumann statement, I keep speaking about it because it was a disrespectful statement altogether. And again, what I can say is that Schumann used the indigenous people to ascend to the seat that he is in right now. And it is about time that the indigenous people that supported him and empowered him to be where he is, to remove that power altogether. So whenever Leonard Schumann goes to these communities again, whenever he comes to you, you do not even give him the
yeah,
time of day,
yeah,
because this person thinks it is an insult
yeah,
for him to be asked to represent you and your interests. These are the facts that are before us
yeah,
today. We cannot put it down and just let it go. We cannot brush this aside. This
yeah.
person campaigned on the platform of representation for the indigenous people, and now he has backpedaled. Now he is
Yeah, he needs a
fully an
no confidence
endorsement of.
motion in the backside. That's what he needs, a no confidence motion.
Well, I don't know, Shad. I think we should be calculating how longer he has in Parliament, because
Yeah,
last I checked, he was sharing a seat with two other parties. So,
yeah.
like I said, he's not even one third of a seat proper, right? So that's not the
Happy
story.
to see him go. Happy to see him go. Ladies, we have to leave our conversation there this evening, unfortunately. But I want to thank both of you, MP Juretha Fernandes and MP Don Hastings Williams, for coming by and again adding clarity and context to this very, very sensitive national issue of one, abuse of women nationally, and abuse of this particular young woman, Gladys Emmanuel, where she was shot in her abdomen, as Don pointed out earlier, by a wirehead that struck her. So brutal. Again, MPs, thanks for coming by this evening.
Thank you for having us, Sharon.
Awesome. And with that, folks, that's our time for this evening. Again, thanks to Don Hastings Williams and Juretha Fernandes, both members of Parliament, members of the National Assembly there, who took the time to come and help us along with this very, very dire issue. And for those of you who are still with us, they have said that the file is at the DPP's office, again, awaiting legal advice, like so many others. awaiting legal advice, awaiting legal advice. Right? They are hasty to charge certain people. But then certain others, oh, they have the luxury of awaiting legal advice 3-4 months. Right? Quick to charge Valder Lawrence, James Bond, Christopher Jones, Annette Ferguson, and all the others. Huh? But this jagabat, Carl Singh, awaiting legal advice. Awaiting legal advice. And Don Hastings put it very well. Right? We want real men. Right? And those real men in the PPP, all right, coming soon. Coming soon. Coming soon. Viewers, social distance, wear your mask, sanitize. Practice all the other COVID-19 protocols that are in place for your health and your safety, that of your friends and your loved ones. Thanks for joining us. It's been a great week having you guys in the ring side us. It's been a privilege being here with you. We're going to see you guys back on Monday unless something great breaks over the weekend. Thanks for joining us and do stay safe. Stay safe, guys.